Hello friends and family of West Hill High School. I just want to take a few moments to walk you through how to access online resources for practice testing materials for our 11th grade students here at West Hill. So if you would just follow along with my cursor and my words, I'll be able to help you through this process relatively quickly. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a browser, which is going to be Chrome, and I'm going to go to our school's website, which is westhillweb.com. Sorry. All right, so you'll notice that, and this link will become active very shortly. It's the video I'm producing right now. But we're going to go to our SBAC testing at West Hill link. The letter that I passed out to 11th grade students earlier this week and you'll be receiving in the mail is here in a PDF form. Printable schedule for your refrigerator is here. SBAC's official site, our district site with resources. What is a field test? So you and your student, your child, will understand exactly how this SBAC testing is going to work. The universal tools that pop up throughout taking the exams, whether it's mathematics or ELA, English Language Arts, are explained here. And of course, taking the practice training test, which I'm going to walk you through right now. So you click on this final link. We're going to mouse over to the green side, this part where it says practice and training tests. I'm just going to click on those words. There are some clickable links here that explain the scientific calculator, when it pops up, when it's appropriate, the rubrics that are associated with scoring, highlighting down here as well. And for students and for families, we're going to mouse over the right icon that says student interface, practice tests and training, turns a lighter green, and we'll click on that. That's going to bring us to our active page for signing in. You don't need to change anything in any of these boxes, and just mouse over sign in and click yes, or click sign in. And at this point you don't need to change anything as well. There's nothing to change here other than the fact that you would want to mouse over yes. But before you do that, you must select the grade. And since we're dealing with 11th graders here at West Hill and in Stanford Public Schools and at the high school level, we're going to click 11. But you'll also notice that if you've got younger children, you could click those as well, and you could explore those just as easily. Okay. This is the point in time where if you wanted to select one of the mathematics practice tests or performance tasks, you could click on these and it would bring you to that testing site. But I also want to take a moment to show you some of the more pertinent options that, while are available on both, are perhaps more specific to the ELA, the English Language Arts. Choosing settings. For this practice, you don't need to do anything, but you could change the background color, you could change the language, you could change all sorts of different things here. It's unnecessary. We won't be changing any of those during the testing day. Your child won't be. So you just hit select. It's going to verify this is the test that you want. Yes, it is. So I'll scroll down. Yes, start my test. There's a sound check because there is an auditory component to this exam. So you just have to click on that speaker. Heard it. Good to go. Now, it gives you some table, some content, some rules, information here that you can click on. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll leave that up to you. And also, it just gives you a quick overview about some of the buttons at the top. There's the zoom in at any point in time. If you need to zoom in on the text, it's too small. If you want to zoom out, you can do that. Calculator button will pop up when it's available and appropriate. Students cannot bring electronic devices or their own calculators to the testing site. There's a save and pause button, and I'll explain that as I go on to the next page. And also there's a next and a back button, so if I want to go to the next question, if I want to go back, and ultimately when I'm done with that session, I would hit end test. But we're going to begin it. We'll wait for a few moments as this loads, and those buttons I just talked about you'll see are right across, and they turn blue when you're trying to activate them. So I can zoom in on text, I can zoom out. I can save and pause, back, next questions. Now, in the event that a child needs to use the restroom, it's suggested that they press the save button first and then press the pause button, little dialog box that says you've got 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it's locked. Okay, so we're just going to say no so we can go back. Say no so we can go back. I'll get to the text in a moment and the questions, but I just wanted to point out that on the top of every question, whether it's math or ELA, you've got the flag, you've got the notebook, and you've got an information button. That information button is talking specifically about how do I answer, how do I interface with this specific type of question. So as you click on this information button, it literally will say, this is the type that requires that you answer into the text box. It will go through, it will walk you through the entire process, exactly what you need to do. Okay. The middle one is notepads. The notepad is specific to only question number 1. Okay, so that's only for question number 1. So I could write in here whatever I wanted to write about question number 1. I could save and close. I could say, you know what, I'm not too sure about that one. I want to come back to it. So I click on the arrow, and then I can go down to the next question. I can drag down, I can read, and I can drag down my question so that the information might be side by side. And then I can say, oh, well, you know what, I just found my answer right here for question number 1. So let me go to my notepad. Oh gosh, no notes there, right? Because notes are only specific to that question. So your notes for number 1 are saved under number 1. Okay. Once I get the answer, I go, oh, okay, right. It was about a U.S. cost of. I'm done. I've got the answer. I'm satisfied with that answer. I check off. Now you'll notice that there are 6 questions in this set. I'm on questions 1 and 2. If, when it's marked, it'll say it's marked, and you drag down that little radio button, one of these 2 questions is marked. Okay? I'm just going to leave it there for now. Go down to question number 2. I answer the first part, I answer the second part, and I'm just obviously going through this in an expeditious fashion just to show you how this works. But I also want to point out something with highlighting. As you're reading through the text, and regardless of how you want to go about answering questions, you read the text first and then the questions, you read the question and then read the text. As I see something that interests me, let's just say this part of this passage here, I'm going to put my cursor in front of president, left click, press down, and I'm going to drag to highlight whatever section that I want all the way through coal, and then I'm going to right click over what I just did. I can highlight that. All right, so I can highlight that section, and I can say, I really like this as I'm going through. I think it's pertinent, and that means that as I go down to the second question and I had to answer a dialog box, I could drag and easily, type whatever I need to type from one side to another. I want to point out one thing to you, just like I highlighted that to point it out so that it's separate from the rest of the text. If I tried to do a traditional copy and paste, that doesn't work. All right, so it's not like Microsoft Word. If I wanted to do utility policies in ACT, highlight it and try to use a shortcut key, Control Copy on my keyboard, you'll see that doesn't work. Okay, so all that we really get to do here is highlight text passages that we like to support evidence from what we've just read, but we can't actually copy and paste traditionally like it's Microsoft Word. All right, so let's see, I've put a response in here, I've put a response in here, I've put a response in here. Okay, I'm going to go to next. Read, read, read. I'm going to do my response as well. Next, I'm just going to show you next and get my response. Next. Oh gosh, I don't know how to answer this question. Information. Walk you through exactly what you need to do, matching the options. X out of this. Okay, right. I like this. I like this. Next. Once you have answered all the questions in this quest, once you've finished checking your answers, hit the end test button. Okay. All right, done. So at this point, I'm going to go through. I'm going to look at all my test questions, 5, and make sure, yes, 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 I like that answer. I'm going to end test. You have reached the end of this test. Click to continue. You have reached the end of the test. You may review your answers. You'll notice now, look at this. You have marked questions for review. So as you click on this, 3, 4, 5, 6 are done well. Fine, everything's good. You're satisfied even though you've checked them. But I intentionally left this to show you why you might get caught up. I left this flag on. So even though you responded and you're satisfied with your response, you've got to go back and just make sure that you've clicked off. Good. Okay, good, good, good. And it's off. End that test. Yes? I've already reviewed them. Submit my test. Are you sure you want to submit your test? I am. You're done. So you've successfully completed that portion of the exam. Each portion of the exam's got a different number of questions, different complexity, different tasks and chores, and your child will go through this process at a comfortable rate and pace, so that once they're through, they're able to finish this exam, they log out, and they'll wait for the end of that specified testing session. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, contact West Hill High School, ask for Ray Manka, and I will try to help you as best I possibly can. Have a wonderful day.